Hey everybody, it's the boss lady here coming to you from my vehicle. Real quick, didn't want to talk about too much. So, follow up from yesterday's video, or I should say today's video. You'll see this tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. No, Thursday. What's today? Lord, today's May 1st, so you'll see this on May 2nd. How about that? Anyway, so update just on Miss Peanut. Of course, you know, I'm not gonna say she has the bounce back spirit, but she was in a better headspace. I spoke with her, Mr. Joe, this morning, and he spoke to the teacher. And first of all, before I even get to Mr. Joe, I found out from a few staff that this particular teacher is the same across the board. It don't matter if you are general ed, special ed, IEP, no IEP, neurotypical, neurodivergent. He's old school, and it's like his way or no way. And I'm like, if this is how you gonna be, you should have been like this from Jump Street. Maybe he was, and this is just my first time hearing about all this, you know, but, you know, you stressing my baby out, I take issue with that. Now, he is an older gentleman. He's an older gentleman. So I'm going to be respectful because he is like an elder of mine, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to take my secretary hat off and baby, okay? So, Mr. Joe spoke to me, and he said he spoke to the teacher, and the teacher basically said that he did this with all the kids. It wasn't like it wasn't nothing personal, right? I get it. That's the way you teach. Like I said, I done heard about him now. But the one thing that Mr. Joe tried to let him know is, you know, we do have a student with an IEP. There are some triggers, and you need to be held accountable to those triggers. Make sure that you're not triggering her, right? It didn't seem like he was understanding, because the way Mr. Joe brought it to me, I'm listening to the responses, and it didn't seem like he was understanding. So, I said, okay. I don't know why this thing is leaning. But I said, okay. And then he said, you know, if you still want to have a meeting, we can. I said, I would love a meeting. Just like that. I said, because you as the case manager have spoken to him. First of all, he was given all this information at the beginning of the year. Why we 6 months till completion is beyond me. But all year I ain't had no issue. Now I got issue. So let's nip it in the butt real quick. So my meeting is tomorrow. I will give you guys an update of my meeting tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, dude. So what we did today, because we had some extra, I call it hands, but extra hands, extra bodies in the building. I sent one of our reserve teachers to that classroom to, you know, be support for Miss Peanut. And I asked her how did it go, and she said today went better. She doesn't know about tomorrow, but one day at a time at this point, one day at a time. So if we have extra bodies in the building tomorrow, I may request again if that person could go. And the reason why this particular person I want to request is because she knows Miss Peanut. Miss Peanut knows her. She has subbed in some of her classes, and she's really good. I mean, this girl she's dynamite. So anyway, that's my plan, hopefully for tomorrow, if all goes well. because, and then I'm gonna have my meeting. As far as, you know, Miss Peanut and having her meltdown and all of that, I got a comment. So I just want to address the comment. I mean, I did address it in the comments, but I just want to address it verbally too, just so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, because maybe I didn't convey that. We all have coping mechanisms. I have mine. Miss Peanut has hers. I have staff who have theirs. There are days when, regardless of the coping mechanisms you may have, you may just have an off day. She's entitled to it, just like I'm entitled to it. So, because there have been other things that have, you know, ruffled her feathers, so to speak, and she has dealt with it. And Mr. Joe and I are like, whoa, did you notice that? Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, okay. But she is not without error or fault, or, you know, she's going to have those days, regardless if she knows her coping mechanisms or not. So to teach her, she's already been taught. Like I said, maybe I didn't convey it correctly in the video, but there's nothing further to really be taught. There's other ways we can go about things. She knows how to center herself. She knows how to meditate. She does like the sound baths and things like that. So she has those tools. But in that immediate moment that she hadn't had since October, so it's not like Miss Peanut's having these moments. I'm gonna turn this off. It's not like she's having these moments every day, every hour, every week, every month. You figure October to April. And you might as well say May, because we're in May now. So what is that? November, December, January, February, March, April. That's it. That's 6 months. So for her to have a meltdown or a crisis situation like she did yesterday, I'll take it. And I'm not going to, well, let's find something else for you to do. No. Like I said, she has coping mechanisms. She knows how to meditate. She knows how to ground herself. But she will have these episodes from time to time. Now, like I said, maybe I didn't convey it the correct way in the video, but please believe me when I tell you, she wasn't like in the classroom, in the hallway, stuck in the bathroom or something like that, having I call it a manic episode. She was not. She came to me. She came to my desk. I wasn't there. She was silently crying to herself. So it wasn't even a whole production. It wasn't a production until she got private with me and her. And then when Mr. Joe came, by the time Mr. Joe came, she still was upset, but it wasn't manic like it originally first started when I got her by herself. So, thank you for giving me your comment, your feedback, and all of that. I appreciate that. But please understand, I know my daughter. I am working with my daughter, and my daughter is just fine. So that kind of goes back to what I said in the video, as far as, you know, people not knowing, understanding, and so then they say things. And you got to understand right now, like I told Mr. Joe this morning, I said, I'm glad that you, and I told him, I said, I'm glad that you came to do your job, because at the time of me getting to the situation, I was in fight or flight mode. Like, who I need to, and I don't want to be like that at work. So I'm glad that you were here. And he said, yeah, to do my job. I said, exactly. So, I'm learning too. I'm learning to not always react. I'm learning to just let it be. Because sometimes if you just let it be, it will fizzle itself out. But that particular incident, it was a situation that had to be handled. And she needed not me to tell her, well, just have a coping mechanism, have a meditation time. No. She needed to be able to get it out, know that she's been heard, hear that we're going to work on a solution, and then she can breathe. But at the time, she didn't know if it was going to be worked out. She didn't know if anybody was going to hear her or understand her or know what to do. So she was in her headspace and feelings of needing to just have a moment. And because she actually, if I wouldn't have took her in the room, she would have just silently cried to herself, which I don't ever. Hear me clear. I don't ever want my daughter to suffer in silence. My child already silent cries. So for her to get it out the way she did, get it out. Let me know. So then we can help you. And that's what we teach her. So if you don't like that, maybe this is not the channel for you. I'm just saying. But I'm not going to tell her, oh, just go and meditate on that. I'm not going to tell her that. I'm not going to tell her just go and breathe without knowing let's find out what the problem is. Let's look at a solution. And then you can go and breathe. And like Mr. Joe kept telling her, I'm proud of you for getting to this point. Dealing with it, festering with it, breathing through it to get to us so that we can work. Because he and I, we tag team. Just like her and her father, myself and her father, we tag team. Sometimes we have to tag each other out, but that's just what it is. Because sometimes I get tired, sometimes he get tired, sometimes he don't understand, sometimes I don't understand. But that's what it is. Just like I just watched a video, and I wish I could have like screen recorded or whatever. I just watched a video this morning, and it talked about parents of autistic children. The mother is the one who deals with the majority. And if you are married, if that child has a father, that father needs to stand up and be held accountable and help that mother and help that child. That man said, I have 2 children with autism, and I'm not going to let my wife do it all by herself. My husband, same way. Just because y'all don't see him, they ain't got nothing to do with me. But I know what he do. Just as well as Mr. Joe, y'all don't see him, but I know what he do to help her get to be self-sufficient where she needs to be. Just like I said, so, I talked about her IEP and how she has these goals and this and that and whatever. Nobody really talked about that part, okay? But she's doing what she needs to do. She is self-sufficient. She will be productive in society, okay? But she's also going to have times, just as well as anybody else, because there's some neurotypical children at her school who have meltdowns just as well. They're not neurodivergent, but they have meltdowns just as well because they might have something else going on in their life, okay? I got stuff going on in my life. I had a meltdown today, okay? And what did I have to do? I had to figure out the solution so that I can move on from the problem. So everybody has their moments. And just because I talk about my daughters doesn't mean that, oh, well, she doesn't have this, that, and whatever to deal in society. No, she does. And even when she goes to college, she will still have a support network. Yes, ma'am. And she'll be just fine. So with that being said, all is well. All is good. Miss Peanut will be just fine from here on out and forevermore. Okay? So it is what it is. But please believe me when I tell you, Miss Peanut got it going on. I mean, from where she started freshman year to where she is at the end of junior year, it's almost like a totally different kid. She's not, over here, over there, this and that. I'm calling where she at. Y'all got to find her. They checking this bathroom, that trying to figure out where she's at. We don't have that no more. You know what I mean? So she's come a mighty long way. And I won't have nobody tarnish, where she's at and what she's doing. Period. Point blank. So I think I've been clear. Okay? I think I'm very clear. I don't speak another language. So I believe I was very clear. But Miss Pina is fine. I don't make her just bounce back into whatever. Like I said yesterday, I gave her an out. And even Mr. Joe, we talked this morning. I said, I did give her an out. If she feels uncomfortable, if she feels this is not for her, out of there. And he said, I gave her the same situation. I was like, okay, we on the same page. So it's good. It's good. I'm happy that, the lady staff that I had go in with her, she was able to, help out. And she wasn't even like helping her with her work. She was just in there more for a comfort. Because I knew she was going to feel some kind of way. And I'm glad that we were able to have that, have her be in that space today. But I will have my say tomorrow in my meeting. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how old school, I don't care how much of an elder, and hear me clear before I say my last little statement. I do respect education. I respect education. I respect the teachers and what they deal with day in, day out. I respect them because let me tell you, I see the children and I'm like, who Jesus? I couldn't do it. That's not my ministry. Okay? That's not my ministry. I do want to go into education, but to be in a classroom with 24, 30 kids, lies. I wouldn't care if it was 10. No, thank you. No. The generations. No. Hey, I know what I'm capable of. And it's not being calm, cool, and collected when somebody's in my face cussing me out and they are minor. I'm just saying. So therefore, But I respect him as a teacher, as an educator. I respect him as an elder. But let me tell you one thing, and I want everybody to hear this in this video. When it comes to my child, the one I gave birth to, labored 5.5 hours, carried for 39 weeks, wake up with all throughout the night, went to the hospitals when her daddy didn't even know we was gone. That child, you not gonna play with. Now look, I'm getting old. I admit it, I'm getting old. So I'm grateful that God blessed me with her sister and her. Because after her, there will be no more. Okay? So I'm going to get her graduated, get her into college, and get her on about her way. And I'm serious. But I will not have an educator treat her as if she's just like the regular neurotypical children. I'm not asking for preferential treatment, but I am asking for them to follow that paperwork that is legally binding to the fullest extent of the law. And if they cannot do that, they need to advise myself, her case manager, the principal, and anybody else so that we can exit stage left. And I mean that. And I stand on that. Now, I always tell everybody I got a silent partner. And I've told my boss, who is a principal, I have a silent partner. He does not get involved because he's like, I don't go from 0 to 5. He goes 0 to 100, 2.5 seconds. And for that one, oh, he just going to 100. He can't even 2.5. No, he already at 100 when he walk in the door. So you don't want him coming in here unless it's for graduation, period. Deal with mother and be done. And if you can't deal with me, then let me know so we can put her in a different class. I don't care if she got to do this class online for the rest of the school year. That's where I'm at. That is exactly where I'm at. Because I'm tired. So, trust me when I say, try me not. They don't call me the boss lady for no reason. And that's the truth. Yes, I get my boss deals for thrifty prices, but I stand on business. And I don't play that when it comes to my children. With that being said, I'm going to go. And I will give y'all an update on the meeting tomorrow. Bye, guys.